is about myself.
Your Holiness, my question is not related with the recently going on situation in Tibet or everywhere around the world, but I feel this question is more alarming than any other situation, because we as a Tibetan, we are separated from our land. So when people are separated from their land, it's very difficult to keep their identity. I feel as a youth of Tibetan that we are going under identity crisis because of various influence, environment influence, there are different kind of influence. So I think we Tibetan, deep down, I think this problem is much deeper than the brutality we see these days. It's like if Tibet won't be there, if people, they lose their cultural identity, their origin and everything. I'm seeking here for your suggestion for all the Tibetan youth around the world, that how we can maintain our identity, like balancing it with the modern.
Do you want to go back to Tibet?
Of course.
One more question here, so we'll take two and then you can answer.
First, my question is a little more personal. In the face of this current political disturbance that's happening, is it difficult for you to maintain inner peace, since we all know that you've not been keeping well lately?
Okay, two questions.
Yes.
Identity. Now, yes, it is naturally some crisis who born outside Tibet and also the different environment. I think among Indian, so those Indian who educated in the West without knowing much, without much knowing about India's classic sort of what's the culture, including these sophisticated ancient sort of Indian philosophy, these things. Perhaps I think crisis more serious. But those Indians who have sufficient sort of knowledge about your own cultural heritage, I think less crisis. So similarly, Tibetan, those young children, those young Tibetan who have fuller knowledge about the Tibetan culture, I think mainly it's Buddhist philosophy, then most of these things are universal value. Not only Tibetan, but also non-Tibetan also, I think, can benefit from Tibetan Buddhist culture. Buddhism and Buddhist culture, I always make distinction. Buddhism is individual business. Buddhist culture is related with community. So therefore, I think if you are those people who have some fuller knowledge about Tibetan Buddhist culture and your way of life also, accordingly, that spirit, then you not only get more inner peace, but also you feel self-confidence, more self-confidence. So the external environment may not, much disturbed. This I feel. So that's why we Tibetan in exile, we must learn Tibetan and Tibetan and Buddhist culture, not just learning some few pages of puja. No. We must learn the real philosophy or real meaning of Buddha Dharma. That is important. Generally, Tibetan community, as well as the Chinese community, and Japanese community or Thai community, generally, they claim Buddhist. But the real knowledge about Buddhism is very limited. And many of our Hindus also, Indians, they claim Hindu, But you see, very little knowledge about these sophisticated Hindu philosophies.
You have to study it to keep your identity.
So that I think we are not sufficient. We must pay more attention to learn. Then, for your question, I think I already answered. The intellectual level is a lot of sort of crisis, a lot of sort of worry, tension, but emotional level, quite calm. So I think now almost 2 weeks, no disturbance about my sleep.
No disturbance.
No disturbance. 8 hours, sometimes 9 hours, very sound sleep.
Well, that's all we have time for, Your Holiness. Can we all wish him a long life, a healthy life, and compassion, and may you achieve that last moment of consciousness that you talked to us all. Thank you for spending the time with us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.